Alright, people. So, I've kind of came to the conclusion of some things after having a discussion with some people. You know, I once had a real good political view. Well, I can't say it was good, I can't say it was bad, but I was pretty deep into what I believed in on political views. And the one thing I'm kind of learning over time is political views don't really mean anything anymore, man. Like, they're all corrupt, you know. It doesn't really matter what side you play on, whether you're on the left or the right, man. There's really a lot of corruption at the end of the day. And that being said, like, you know, I've always been a pretty big, I can't say Republican, but a right-wing conservative. I've always been pretty big on, and I do believe in my conservative ways. But at one time, I was pretty big into Republican views, and frankly, I've got to a point where I don't care anymore. Like, it doesn't matter who's in office, you know, and all these people's like, Trump's not my president. Well, you know, Trump is your president if you live in the United States. I'll just cut the facts. And all of the people that's like, you know, that love Trump but hated Biden. Well, you know what? When Biden was in office, he was your president. It doesn't matter how you feel about him. If that's the political party that was elected, that's your president. End of story on that one. Now, that being said, I've recently rededicated my life to following the Lord, following God, and doing the right things by God's will. And it's harder. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done, you know. But, you know, playing with the devil's easy. Following God, it's hard. I get it. But we're not into that thing, man. Like, where I'm going with this is, like, I guess it is kind of where I'm going, but, you know, it doesn't matter you're right wing or in the center, man. The political stuff, Trump, Biden, you know, it don't matter, man. Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, we as Americans, at least the people I know, it doesn't matter, because, like, you can follow one side or the other. But it really doesn't matter. It doesn't really affect any of us if you think about it. None of us are rich enough to really have it affect us. It doesn't change how I live my life, whoever's in office. I'm still going to get up and go to work. I'm still going to raise my kids. I'm going to take care of my family. I'm going to pay my bills. Okay, you want to blame the Democrats because the oil prices went through the roof, or you want to blame the Democrats because the economy is crashing, or you want to blame the Republicans for this, or you want to blame the Republicans for that. Man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Democrats, Republicans, they're all in it for them. And the thing is we as Americans, the majority of us as Americans, we are not part of the them group. You know, we are part of the, I guess you could say, slavery group. You know, because we are slave to the time clock, we are slave to the system, and we are slave to the thoughts they put in our minds to separate us from each other and hate each other. You know, I hate you because you're a Democrat. You hate me because I'm a Republican. You know, yeah, you know what? Why hate each other? It doesn't really. Their views and their beliefs doesn't really come to us and affect us in any way whatsoever. In fact, what it does affect us, actually, I will say this, it does affect us. And the way it affects us is by bringing us to hate each other. That's an effect on us. To bringing us to stress over what their views are. That affects us. So the only person that I've decided that I'm going to follow 100% wholeheartedly, it's not even a party for the political views. It's Jesus Christ, man. And I'm not going to sit here and Bible thump nobody and say anybody shouldn't be like, you need to follow Jesus. I think everybody should follow him. I think everybody should put God back into the equation of our lives. But you know what? Here's the thing. We live in America, and America is supposed to be the greatest country in the world because we have this thing that's called freedom. But freedom is not free. Freedom costs a lot more than what people think. I've had family members go overseas and fight overseas in the military. I know people that's died in the military for fighting. I know a lot of people that has, lost their mental state. It's costed us something. And I'm not just talking money. I'm talking, the loss of things, so that we can say that we're a free country. So that we can say, hey, I'm a Democrat, or hey, I'm a Republican, and you're wrong because you don't believe the way I do. That's your God-given right as an American, is to be able to have free choice. Okay? I do not believe a lot of the things other people believe. I do not follow what a lot of other people follow. Doesn't make me right, doesn't make me wrong. It just means that me as an American, I have that right, and I have brothers and sisters and cousins, and we all have these people that have fought for us to have this right. So before you go judging a person because, hey, you're a POS because the fact is you follow this party, sit back and think about it like this. That's their given right as an American to follow whatever they want to follow, whether it's political or religious or whatever. Again, I once was very big into politics. I still have some of my views on it. But when I changed my life around and I started following the direction that I'm following and started following God's way, the political stuff means nothing to me no more. It means this much. That's all it means. And the division is here because of the politics. The division is going to always be here because of the politics. One person's going to hate the other because that's the way the process is designed. The sooner that we all can understand that and realize that they're playing us against each other, the sooner that we can come back together and reunite with our American brothers and our American sisters, because we're so divided, and it is what it is, and there's not a lot that we can do about it at this point. But this is just where my opinion's going. This is where my thoughts are at. And, more people, I think, should wake up. This is what true waking up is. When people say, oh, I'm woke, this is woke. Not woke on the Republican side, not woke on the Democrat side. And this is only my opinion. You know what? If you think I'm wrong and an idiot and a moron, that's your right as an American to think that. But this is my opinion. Just my thoughts of the day.